Hello everyone, welcome to What the Rust. Today we have a very special car. This is a 1946 Ford Hot Rod that has been sitting for over 20 years. Come on along as we try to get this thing running. This car's been sitting in a barn / garage for a very long time. And check out this tow strap. That is super cool. I'd like to make a belt out of that. Get this out of the way. Okay. Doesn't look so bad, does it? Well, that's because it's been undercover, but the reality is it's been sitting forever. But back in the day, this was quite a cool hot rod. It's got a flathead V8 in it. We'll get to that. But I want to show off the flame job here. When I was younger, the cool hot rods had flames. And if you picked up an edition of Popular Hot Rodding or Hot Rod Magazine, the cover usually had a car with flames. And it's kind of passé today, but I still love them, and hopefully you do too. And the best flame jobs started with white and transitioned into a yellow and usually an orange. Now this car is green, so orange wouldn't work too well. But if you take a look at the flames, this is all sprayed and hand done. You can even see the outline of the lick of the flames here. That is cool stuff. No decals here. I have no idea how to get the hood up on this, so I'm hoping that it's not latched. There we go. And it stays up. So let's take a look. So we've got a later model as far as they go, flathead V8. I can tell because the distributor is not in the front. It's over here on the side. Still got an old 6-volt battery in it. Let's see if this battery's dated. It is dated 88? No. 86, I think. It's hard to tell, there's dirt all over it, but it's around there. It's old. It's old. But it's got, it's complete. I don't see any missing parts. I wonder if it's seized. Let's see. This is always, always, always an indication of what's to come. It's not seized. It is not seized at all. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Check out these horns here. That's going to be interesting. I hope those horns work so you can all hear what they sound. We've done a lot of cars with these horns and they never work. It's got an ancient car, probably a Stromberg, but correct me if I'm wrong, viewers. You probably know these cars better than I do. Let's take a look at the body itself. In anticipation of me getting here, the owner actually put a couple of new tires on it because these were flat. but you can see these old school, what they called as bullet hole wheels. These were big in the 80s, maybe even the 90s. And it kind of dates the car a bit, which makes sense for it being sitting 20 plus years. These may be from the 90s, who knows? Check this out. Here we go. Now we know how long this has been sitting. This car is from Missouri, and it's got an inspection sticker of 2002, October of 2002. So we're looking at 22 years, which kind of makes sense. Let's check inside. Wow. Look at this. This has obviously been restored at some time in the past. It stinks. Surprisingly, for a car that's been inside, it stinks. Lots of mold. All right, so we've got, you know, an unmolested dash, which is just, look at the Art Deco fonts on the gauges. Isn't that nice? And look at this. Ashtray at the top. So you're driving around, you just flick with your right hand. That's pretty cool. That's not something I've seen before. Let's check the clutch and the brake. Well, that's not a good sign. There's a ton of free play on the clutch. A ton. Brakes goes to the floor. Okay, so we'll have to look at that. Let's see what else. The headliner's in really nice shape. I mean, this interior is awesome. Other than the little bit of a smell, there's a bit of free play in the wheel, but not too bad. I've certainly seen a lot worse. So this is pretty nice inside, really. Let's check the trunk. Yeah, it's getting more and more accepted every day. But yeah, and if you get it on Creole.com, I've got a discount for it. This stuff, this stuff is just. These Fords had kind of a torpedo back to them with the oval type rear window. So they're very, very sharp cars. Back in the day when the roads were loaded with these cars, people didn't know how lucky they had it. Look at a highway today, boring. See 50 of these on the highway around you, very cool. Here we go. Okay, it doesn't stay up. Well, it probably will if I knew how, but very neat. I guess that's the spare tire holder in the middle of the trunk, I guess, with the two rubber bumpers. But this trunk's real good. Very small rust hole off to the right, but very, very nice. And this trunk lid is heavy, man. This is American steel here. I'm getting a workout just holding it up. The rear bumpers have been painted. Coming around to the passenger side, it's pretty straight. If we can get this running, this is going to be a really cool car. One of the things that I have to check is how this gas is. Oh, it's bad. It's really bad. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're not going to be using the gas from that tank. And there's a lot of rust on the cap itself. That's a little bit worrisome, but we'll deal with it. We've dealt with worse. The tank was redone at some point, but it's got old gas in it. Before I check the fluids, I'm going to change my jacket because it's cold out here. All right, let's check the oil. The dipstick is real easy to find. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Nice and clean. You know, I brought an oil change with me. I don't need it. That's beautiful. I'm going to take another dip at that. That's hard to believe. Look at that. Wow. And it's a little over full. I don't smell any gas in it, so that's a good thing. check under the breather. That looks decent. I don't see any signs that it had major blow-by when it was running. How about the coolant? Huge distributor, a huge coolant cap. Nothing in there. It's so dark I can't see. I'm gonna grab a flashlight for that. So there's nothing in there, but it's really nice. This car has an aftermarket coolant overflow, and there's something down in there, so I'm concerned about how it looks. Did I reach it? No, I didn't even reach it. It's way down. It looks kind of black. I don't know, let me see if I can adjust the light so you can see that. Can you see it down there? Yeah. Maybe a little green tint to it. So that's okay, that'll work. Let's see what it looks like under here. I didn't check if the linkage is stuck or anything yet. Now this is an oil bath, so I have to be real careful not to spill it. There we go. Now let's see what we got here. Oh, the choke's closed. That's really good news. So that's probably one of the reasons it's not seized. And the linkage, it squeaks, but it's free. Great news all around. Let's take out plug number 1. Actually, on a Ford, this is plug number 5. Wow. Okay. Wow, that is very carbony and nearly no gap. Wow. And I don't know, it might be the carbon that's closing up that gap, but there's nearly no gap. So I'm going to clean that up before I put it back in. So there's the plug. I'm going to measure that gap just to see what we're dealing with here. So I started digging around the insulator, and I don't know if you can see that, but look at the stuff that's in there. That's just from what I dug out next to the insulator. So all of these have to come out and get cleaned. It won't fire like that. With all the plugs, I'm going to put a little of this in it. This Cree-Oil stuff is a penetrant, but I've found it's also very good on engines that have been sitting for a while. He just puts them in the cylinders so that the rings free up a little bit and you don't scratch the walls. You don't have to pour it in like mystery oil. Just a little bit is all it takes. So I'm going to do that here. And that's enough. And I'm just going to let that sit in there and let it sink in. Put the plug back in. You don't have to worry about hydro lock because I'm not putting enough in there to worry about it, and it's super thin. Get back in. It's nice and clean. And we'll move on to the next. All right, here is the second one on the driver's side. That one's not as bad. Yeah, it's not as bad. Inside here, I don't see as much carbon. You can actually see it's got a plug gap. Still needs to be cleaned, but it's not nearly as bad as the other one. So we're going to do the rest of these and then we'll get back to you. There's quite a bit of squirrel nuts, and looks like maybe there was a home in here. Some of them eaten, some of them not. All right, plugs are done. Now I'm going to oil up the carb linkage. I'm going to move on to seeing if the engine cranks with the starter, which is, you know, it's a huge deal. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to get under and change yet another flathead starter, which I've done 50 times this year. So this car is the original positive ground. You see the positive post here? and there's the ground right here. So very different than more modern cars, and a lot of these older cars have been converted, but this one is not. So still positive ground, 6 volt with a generator. The battery tray is in really good shape. It's got an insulating pad under it, but check this out. That's an original ground strap. And it's got a lot of corrosion on it, but I think it'll be fine. Uh-oh, look at that. That's not going to be fine. That's broken. Okay, we're going to have to do something about that. Okay, this ground strap very simply attached here. Just going to pull it out, loosen it up, pull it out, and replace it with a cable. So I've got this all cleaned up nice, and I've got a cable, and it's a nice thick cable. So we're just getting rid of that old ground strap that had the broken connector, and the strap itself wasn't that good. So I'm more than happy to replace it with this cable. You want me to take this out while I'm here?
Might as well. That'd be great.
These 6 volt batteries aren't light. Their size is very deceptive. Look at that. I moved this out of the way to give me the clearance that I needed. And let's make sure the cables reach. Obviously the one I added reaches. That one does not. So we'll flip the battery around. Okay, now we're going to do the touch test. And that is to make sure we don't have any shorts in this wiring. Get that off. All right, let's get this off of there. Okay, let's see if there's any shorts. There shouldn't be any spark here. On a car like this, there's no computer to draw or anything. The key's off, I hope. Yeah, we're good. No spark at all. Boy, these cables are old. They're old. All right, we're live. All right, we got a big moment here. Plugs are all cleaned up, batteries in, carb linkage is oiled up. I'm going to put it in neutral, and then we're going to try to turn the starter over. I've got my trigger switch here. I'm going to hook that up. And I'm just going to give it a bump. We're not trying to start it. Nothing. That was anticlimactic. I got nothing out of that. Nothing. Okay, that didn't work. I have an alternate plan. Okay, I think the solenoid is either bad or corroded, so I'm just going to jump it momentarily, and that should trigger the starter. Basically what we're doing here is we're putting 6 volts directly to the starter. Okay, we'll try that again. Okay, good, it worked. It worked. So the starter sounds tired, sounds cranky, but it's working. So this solenoid is looking very corroded, especially on the starter side. So I'm going to take the connections off, clean them up, and hopefully we can get it working. If not, I've got another solenoid, and we'll just put it in. Yeah, that's not looking too good. It's very corroded, very dirty. Let's hope that's part of the problem. This is a good idea. Let's try this. So I'm going to go directly to the solenoid rather than touching the nut that's on this connector. I'm going right to the post. Nothing. Huh. Okay, this solenoid might be bad. We are going to now check spark at the points in the distributor. So we're going to pull this off. This probably hasn't been off in decades. Let's see what this looks like in here. Well, it doesn't look too bad. Let me get the light. I've certainly seen worse. Doesn't look bad at all. A little bit rusty, but nothing that won't clean up. So these are the points right here, and they are big time corroded. I don't know if you can see the white on those contacts right there, but that's typically what happens. The points get this white corrosion on them. But we're going to fix all that up. Under the cap, looks good. It's a brass cap, but wow, that button is worn. Woo-hoo. The rotor rides on that button, and it needs a constant connection as it hits every spark plug terminal. And it is worn, which means this cap has been in here a long time. So I'm going to clean that up and get back to you. Oh yeah, look at how corroded those are. Whew. Wow. So I'm just going to put a little paper in there, move it back and forth a bit. And yeah, look at the corrosion just falling off. These are some of the more corroded points I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. These are really, really bad. Okay. That should do it. Just holding them open just a hair so I can move the sandpaper back and forth. Okay, that should do it. I wasn't able, Tom, to figure out how to turn the key on. How do you do that in this thing? That's the same problem I had.
There we are.
Oh, is the steering column holding it?
Yeah, it was in a
Okay.
bind. It's got a pin that goes through that steering column.
Okay.
And there, when you turn it over that way and it locks that steering column,
Huh.
then the flip switch over here and the starter over here.
Even in 46 they had that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Turn on the key,
Uh-huh.
flip your switch up, and then push your starter over here.
And what's the switch do? That's the ignition?
That turns the power on to it.
Okay, let's flip that up.
Okay, it's up.
Okay. Yeah. I just saw a spark at those points briefly. Briefly, but no more. We should be getting real healthy spark right here, and we're not. There we go. There we go. Come on. But the points still aren't sparking like I need them to. There they go. See that? Now they're sparking. Okay, I'm going to clean them up a little more. I'm not super happy with that, but we're getting voltage there, so
All right.
that's a good thing. Okay, those should be clean now. Right here is an oiler for the distributor.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is you put oil in there and it lubricates the distributor bearing.
Yeah.
If distributor bearing goes, it's very bad, and I've had enough of these go. This one seems okay, and I don't want to be the guy to ruin it. Okay, I'm going to jump the solenoid because it's giving us grief. See if we get spark at the points. Okay. Yep. Got a little spark at the points. I don't know if it's enough. I'm going to try that again. We are getting close, so I'm going to fill the bowl on the carburetor first. I'm doing this so that if it does fire, it's got fuel right there. I can also test the accelerator pump once the bowl is full. Okay, I think we're full up, so I'm going to check the accelerator pump. Let's see if it fires yet. Let's see if I can get it to fire. And then, yeah, we'll need an extra set of hands to work the throttle. Because I got to jump the solenoid, so that takes my hands out of the picture. Okay, guys, let's give it a whirl. Come on. Okay. That didn't sound so bad, actually.
Just turn over, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's turning over. Mickey, are you able to reach this throttle from over there? Are you able to reach that
where's
right
it?
here? Right here, this rod?
Yep.
Yeah, just open it up a little bit. Yeah, not all the way, but like halfway
Okay.
while I'm spinning it over.
You show me where halfway is at. I can't see. I'm just.
I think right there.
Right there. Okay.
Just a little, even there is good.
Okay.
Just so we can get it a little more air. Okay, nothing. We're not getting any firing yet. Let's try it again. Nothing yet. Try a little more gas.
Need some super start.
You know, I'm thinking about it. I hate to use that on these,
Yeah,
but
I got a can over here. If it,
yeah. Let's try opening the choke as well.
I'm trying to run.
Okay.
Screwdriver.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, because we're not going to try to start it. We just want to see
Yep.
if it's got some fire. Nothing?
Now you see nothing yet. At one time.
One time,
It hit
okay.
One time.
Okay. Was it healthy?
Nope. just barely had. Could see it. Go ahead.
Okay, let me try it once more.
No, I ain't getting nothing.
Okay. All right, well, there's a... There we go, baby. Yeah, come on.
You want me to hold that throttle?
I got it. Yeah, it's way better. It's firing. I'm gonna give the starter a little break. Yeah!
All right.
Yeah, man!
That's what we were looking for.
Woo!
It does run.
Yeah! Those points!
Right quiet too.
All right, let's turn the gas on. Let's see if this will run more than 3 seconds. Woo!
That sounded pretty good.
That was easy, wasn't it? Once the points were fixed.
I thought I couldn't even hear it running. I thought you just pulled it off over there.
It wanted to start off, Mickey, before you left, see?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Since
there
you've
you
been
go,
here.
Mickey.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was running till Richard hollered.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. I know you can run. Okay, that might have been the problem. Oh, come on, man. Well, he did run.
Yeah.
We all heard it. Could be need a little more fuel. It's odd. There's voltage there. What's going on? Okay, something simple is awry. I have the starter connected and ignition. That's it. And my ignition is wired right here with this blue wire. Nothing else is live.
My 40 was good.
Turn that gas on. Almost in time.
Sorry.
That's all right, man. It's not like I prepared you. Boy, does it sound nice. Yeah! Listen to that! Wow, he's right! Woo! Yeah! How you feeling? Yeah?
Good in the back, even.
Yeah?
Good in the back.
Awesome! Put it there.
There you are.
Woo! Wow!
Amazing.
It is amazing!
Run for your money.
It's beautiful, considering that I had to sand the points till no tomorrow, set them by hand. I mean, listen to that. I gotta put my dwell meter on. This isn't like illegal.
What side is the exhaust on?
I don't know. Let's hear it.
Over here.
It could run better.
Pipe is under there.
Yeah, it's running decent, but it could run better. You know, it's got a little bit of a miss, but that's going to go away. It's
Yeah.
because it's been sitting for decades. That will go away. Let me put my dwell meter on it.
I'm telling you.
Sounds great.
It does, though.
Beautiful sound, isn't it?
Mickey. This appearance is called Mickey.
Yeah. Hey, listen to this.
well is way off, as you can imagine. I've got to get a new gauge. This one's giving me trouble, but it was working for a minute. As well as you can imagine, it's off. But listen, how can you argue with it?
What happened if you took the screwdriver out of the choke?
It might kill it. I don't know. The choke is a rod inside, and if I take this out, the rod's not pulled out, so probably. Wow. How's the oil pressure? You have a gauge, right? We know it's good because it's so quiet. So we've got over 40 pounds.
Just got it running.
Just got it cranked up.
Yep. You missed the firing up.
That's what I heard.
Missed the firing.
That's all right.
Well, there'll be more. That's right. Just keep your eyes open for leaky
Y'all
coolant.
are pretty.
I don't see anything yet. I don't think it was empty.
Oil, gas, antifreeze.
Well, that is a miracle that there's no gas sticking out of that car anyway.
I wonder if I'd have to rebuild it.
Adjusting the choke. It's a little out of adjustment right now. Well, that's why it's out of adjustment. It's loose there. It's loose where it connects right here. So we'll tighten that up and it'll be done. So we're checking if it's charging now. 7.84. It's absolutely charging perfectly. We're trying to drain the tank, but my theory is there is no gas in the tank except junk.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
You can tell it's not picking anything up on the other end.
And that's what was in there. Things up, and this hose that goes from the fuel pump here to the carb is completely shot. It's hard as a rock, and I had to cut it to remove it. So I'm just replacing it with a new piece of 5/16. And that's just going to be way, way better. Should have voltage to the car now. Yep. Headlights are on. How about taillights? That one's on, This one's not, but that one's on. How about brake lights?
I don't think they even got any brake pedal, really.
Okay. Yeah.
It just goes to the floor.
Yep. All right. If this horn works. Yeah, it works. Okay, so we're finished. This was a bit of a bear. The points were in such bad shape that we just couldn't get them sparking, but I just kept on working on them, and now it runs beautiful. So how do you feel?
Great, great. Hadn't heard a flathead run in many a year, but it sounded awful sweet.
It sure did. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Richard.
And good luck with this car. It is awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you all very much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and like the video as well. We will see you soon.